Getting organized. There's two types of people. People that love getting organized. People who a nice, neat set of files where every single file type is labeled correctly. An empty inbox for your email. Nice, neat piles of paper in your office. Oh, feels so good, doesn't it? And then there's the other kind of person. The kind of person that hates getting organized. You've got your dad wallet full of receipts from your rental property. You've got a desktop covered in icons. You've got an inbox with 1,000 unread messages. The very idea of organizing kills you. And you're like, you know what? I'll just find it if I need it. Okay. Time to stop lying to yourself. You know, I know that getting organized is going to be very helpful for you to scale your business. Let me tell you, you own one rental property, you can get away with files and receipts and emails all over the place because you only got one. It's easy to keep it all straight. When you have 2, when you have 5, when you have 15, that bad habit of being disorganized isn't going to scale. It's not. You're going to hit a brick wall where you physically can't buy another income property because you have such a disorganizational mess that you won't even be able to get your application to the bank successfully because you don't know where the information the bank requires is even living. It's a bummer. I don't want you to get there. But here's the thing. I'm not talking to you organized people. You already know how to get organized. My organizational tips will just take your super organizationalness and make you more organized. So here's some tips for those of you that hate getting organized and you're like, oh, I don't even want to watch this because I just don't want to deal with the mess. Okay, let's talk about a few easy tips to get organized enough that you can hire somebody like a virtual assistant to help. Tip number 1, group similar pieces of information together. That's it. That's all you got to do. Let me tell you what that looks like. Maybe it's your electronic files. So you have one file that says tenant files. Okay, now every lease, every move-in report, every copy of every deposit, anything to do with managing your tenants, communicating with your tenants just gets dumped in there. It can be a big mess in that file, but at least it's all there. Next, receipts, invoices. Dump that all into one place. Next, if you have a joint venture partner or you've borrowed money, whatever your partnership financing documents are, put those all in one place. All of the realtor documents, we're talking the offer to purchase, amendments, condition waivers, all that goes into one file. Legal, everything that has to do with the lawyer goes into one file. You're doing renovation, all the renovation planning goes into one file. Okay, now at least what feels like an insurmountable mess is in nice, neat little piles. By the way, if you're still rolling the dad wallet full of receipts, you can literally just snap a picture of that receipt and then drag and drop it into the folder too. Get rid of all the scraps of paper, get it electronic. That's all I need you to do. I promise you, if you hire a virtual assistant and show them what the piles are, they can figure out those piles. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, stay consistent. You don't want a receipt that should be in the receipts folder to somehow have made it into the tenant folder. You don't want a realtor document somehow in the legal folder. Just whatever it is that you do, whatever your system is, whatever your little piles are, just keep everything in the same piles. If you can cluster similar information together and then stay consistent with it. Tip 3, hire help. Hire a virtual assistant. Even if you're so disorganized that it doesn't really make sense what the information is, if you sit down with a virtual assistant for half an hour to an hour and just teach them, here's what's in this folder, here's how I need you to label it, then they can literally go in and right click and rename all your stuff. And then you've got a consistent set of files. And I promise you, this is going to save you time and money 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road when whatever that thing is has come and gone out of your mind. You're a busy entrepreneur, you're a busy real estate investor, you've got a lot of properties on the go. I don't expect you to remember what happened 6 to 12 months ago. I barely do. So don't necessarily worry about being the super organized one. You can follow those 3 tips. Tip number 1, put it in piles. Tip number 2, keep those piles consistent. Tip number 3, from time to time, hire a virtual assistant Spend a little bit of time teaching them how you want your files named, and then just get them to do the final layer of organization. You won't get behind on your taxes. You won't lose out on important information and documents. You'll actually be able to grow your portfolio. Now, I actually love bookkeeping, but I love making it simple. So I created this really dope Excel document that takes all the bookkeeping work and just makes it super simple. So if you want a copy of that, send me a DM. It's an Excel document. It's unlocked. Just use it, please. You can even give it to your bookkeeper and just say, hey, use this. Any bookkeeper, even a brand new one, will be able to look at that spreadsheet and figure out how to use it. So I hope that helps. For all you organized people, boom, pound it. I'm an organized person too. This is for you people that hate organizing. 3 easy tips that allows you to at least build enough of a foundation that you can get help getting organized.